And I am unmuted. Okay. We know that Mother's Day can be a day of celebration for some and a day of pain for others. Our Soul Matters theme this month is story, and we wanted to offer a lighthearted look at the ups, downs, and sideways of mothering. Celebrating moms, anyone who ever has had a mom or mothered anyone or anything.
Good morning and welcome. My name is Mike Frankum and I serve on your fellowship board of directors. I want to thank you all for being here today and extend a special welcome to any visitors with us today. Please stay on after the service for our virtual coffee hour, where you may introduce yourself if you're comfortable and join in the conversation. You may remember that we've recently collected information with a congregational survey. Thanks to all those who participated. The board has begun to comb through the feedback in the survey and look for actionable items to benefit our fellowship. As an example, due to a positive response to the small group breakout sessions held after the service, we've extended the duration of those sessions. I've really enjoyed getting to know several of you better through those small group breakouts. As we more fully analyze the survey results, we expect many other positive action items will come forward. At our last board meeting, the board voted unanimously to extend the closure of the fellowship building through June, or until the regathering task force makes different recommendations. We'll continue to have periodic check-ins and stay tuned to the guidance of the UUA and community health experts. This shift will allow us to accommodate the roof replacement project, which is requiring some space in the parking area. I drove by the fellowship yesterday, and it looks like materials are staged for the installation, as well as allow us time for setting up hybrid attendance systems. It will also give the board time to further review the congregational survey results and prioritize the many elements of a reopening plan. While it's hard to remain apart for so long, we remain committed to providing a safe environment for all who call our fellowship home. So on behalf of this caring, nurturing congregation, I welcome each and every one of you to this sacred space. Here, we invite you into an experience of transformation, hope, renewal, and connections, which may inspire you to understand life in new ways. Thank you for joining us and creating this wonderful community today.
Each week, we begin the service by the ringing of the chime 3 times, once to awaken the chime, once to open our minds, and once to open our hearts.
In the world of the driven, let us be drawn in. Let your love be a given, let us be drawn in. To imagine, to dream, to create, to redeem, for the sake of the living, let us be drawn in.
We light this chalice for mothers and mothering, to celebrate those who have taken on the task of nurturing a young one, baby, child, or youth, into adulthood, to celebrate those who have nourished the light of truth and compassion in growing minds and hearts, to celebrate those who have committed time, money, energy to the growth of others in this world. We light this chalice to celebrate and hold dear this flame of love.
In the world of the driven, let us be drawn in. Let your love be a given, let us be drawn in. To imagine, to dream, to create, to redeem, for the sake of the living, let us be drawn in.
We will open with the song For All That Is Our Life, sung by Chelsea Sardoni. Please join in singing if you wish.
For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift, which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life. For sorrow we must bear, for failures, pain, and loss, for each new thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life. For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift, which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad.
Good morning. This is Jane Runnels. Our opening words are Come Together in Praise and Thanksgiving by Mary Harrington. We come together today in praise and thanksgiving for the gift of life itself. Someone gave birth to us, and some of us have given birth. All of us have been mothered in our time. All of us have mothered. Let our time today be one of recognition that we arrive from so many places. Joy and delight, wistfulness and longing and worry, unmet needs and unfulfilled dreams, loss and sorrow, loss and emptiness, loss and regret. All that life is made of, mothers are made of too. Today we sing the songs of so many. Mothers who are single parents, foster parents, mothers who relinquished their young out of necessity, mothers who found their heart in adoption, mothers who left their children in 1,000 ways, mothers who rejoice and mothers who mourn. We sing the songs of the grandmother, the auntie, the classroom teacher, the Sunday school teacher, the babysitter, the neighbor with endless cookies and time. There is a kind of love we cannot live without. It is never too late, no matter our age or our situation. We sing a song of gratitude for all the moments of being known, being cherished, being found.
Our time for all ages this morning is a book by Michael Tanko, Mom and Me, Me and Mom. This book is a story of how children learn from moms and mothering figures learn from children. Mom and Me, Me and Mom. I help you wake up. And I change your mood. I test your flexibility. And your reflexes. I show you how to look neat. And how to be messy. I help you see nature. And hear it. I show you how to see things differently. And I introduce you to new friends. I follow your lead. And keep your secrets safe. I help you take giant leaps. And even though I am small, I show you how to look further. The end. This next piece of music was written by Leon Dubinsky, originally written for a 1984 stage musical to tell a story of the cycles of immigration and economic insecurity, the meaning of children, and the strength of home, given to us by our family, friends, and music. This version is sung by the choir of women physicians and speaks to the perseverance of parents.
When the waves roll on over the waters and the ocean cries, we look to our sons and daughters to sustain our lives. when the light goes dark, with the forces of creation across a stormy sky, we look to reincarnation to explain our lives, as if a child could tell us why. That as sure as the sunrise, as sure as the sea, as sure as the wind in the trees, we rise again in the faces of our children. We rise again in the voices of our song. We rise again in the waves out on the ocean. And then we rise again. We rise again in the faces of our children. We rise again in the voices of our song. We rise again in the waves out on the ocean. And then we rise again. And then we rise again.
I love that. This is the time in our service when you may share with others your joys and concerns. If you have a milestone to share, please unmute yourself, state your name, and then your milestone. And so we don't talk over each other, tell us when you're finished. This is our time of sharing.
Hi, this is Carol Barrick. Can you hear me okay? Oh, okay. We have a milestone. We put our house on the market how long ago? A month ago, month and a half, I don't remember. It all runs together. But our house in Nevada, we've been at this move since November, December. We've had two buyers. The first one didn't work out. The second one bid that same first day. And her inspection, she has accepted the inspection. So now it's at sale pending status, and we should close the first week or so in May, the sale of our Nevada house. Then this long move process will be behind us. Thank you. I'm finished.
This is Kay Berger. We celebrated Roger's 86th birthday on the 5th, and it was a joyous occasion. Yeah, it was a joyous occasion.
Carol.
What? So that's what I would like to announce. It was really great. I'm through. I'm through.
If there are no other milestones, let's hold these milestones, both spoken and unspoken, in our hearts, knowing we never need walk alone. Please let's join in breathing together through a moment of silence. It's good to be together. Our offering recipient this month is the Iowa Natural Heritage Foundation, a nonprofit conservation organization working with private landowners and public agencies to protect and restore Iowa's land, water, and wildlife. Please visit our website, uufames.org, and click on the Give Online feature at the top of the menu bar to find the offering basket for this morning.
Our second reading is Principles of Motherhood, adapted from Stephen Sultanoff, who is a humor counselor. Motherhood, if it was going to be easy, it never would have started with something called labor. Shouting to make your children obey is like using the horn to steer your car, and you get about the same results. To be in your children's memories tomorrow, you have to be in their lives today. The smartest advice on raising children is to enjoy them while they are still on your side. Avenge yourself. Live long enough to be a problem to your children. The right temperature in a home is maintained by warm hearts, not by hot heads. Raising a teenager is like nailing Jell-O to a tree. The joy of motherhood, what a woman experiences when all the children are finally in bed. Any child can tell you that the sole purpose of a middle name is so he can tell you when they're really in trouble. Grandparents are similar to a piece of string, handy to have around and easily wrapped around the fingers of grandchildren. A child outgrows your lap, but never outgrows your heart. God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth, so you should listen twice as much as you talk. There are 3 ways to get something done. Do it yourself, hire someone to do it, or forbid your children to do it. Adolescence is the age when children try to bring up their parents. Cleaning your house while your kids are at home is like trying to shovel the driveway during a snowstorm. Money isn't everything, but it sure helps keep the kids in touch. Adolescence is the age at which children stop asking questions because they know all the answers. An alarm clock is a device for awakening people who don't have small children. The persons hardest to convince they're at the retirement age are children at bedtime. Kids really brighten a household. They never turn off any lights. The first part of our morning reflection is taken from a book that is called Chicken Soup for the Working Mom's Soul. And I bet some of you can relate to this story. It's called Happy Mother's Day, and it is written by Anne Morrow. Mother's Day is traditionally accompanied by plaster handprints and bouquets of paper daffodils. If you're lucky, you may even be treated to a riveting breakfast in bed. My plans to sleep in were interrupted by a chorus of clattering dishes far down the hall in my kitchen. Minutes later, a large plate carried by a small child appeared at my bedside. A pair of eyes peered over the edge. "Good morning, Mommy. I made you some breakfast." I lifted the plate onto my lap and took note of the meal set before me. I had been presented with a slice of black toast, a freckled banana, green tinted boiled egg, left over from Easter, and a cup of what appeared to be sawdust in water, but smelled like herbal tea. Putting on my best Mother of the Year face, I smiled and thanked my daughter. She stood and stared at me for a moment, then commanded, "Eat it." I stared back at her, hoping she didn't actually expect me to consume the early morning concoction. What I hoped was that she would leave the room so that I could hide the plate under the bed. Besides, I was saving room for brunch later at a restaurant. A face complete with blinking lashes, a perfect grin, and rosy cheeks beamed up at me. She handed me a paper napkin illustrated with two stick people, one tall and one small. Although they had no fingers, they appeared to be holding hands, and beneath their L-shaped feet were the words "Mommy" and "Me." That did it. A huge wave of guilt swept over me, and I prepared my taste buds for the inevitable. When I bit into the toast, which had been slathered with buttered flavored margarine, it burst into a dozen pieces and landed around me on the bed. Loud crunches were emitted as I chewed, alerting the dog, aka garbage disposal in a fur coat, to rush to my bedside in hopes of retrieving a floor-bound treat. The boiled egg was equally crunchy. Those bits of shell are hard to spot so early in the morning. And I hope that Easter dye was to blame for the egg's suspicious green hue. I felt a bit of sympathy for the poor banana. It was impossible to peel, and its tropical brown flesh had to be squeezed directly from the organic wrapper into my mouth. It quivered at the back of my throat, daring me to swallow it. I then had no choice but to wash it down with my cup of specially brewed tea. Bits of wayward chamomile, once constrained by a tea bag, swam the perimeter of the cup. I lifted it to my lips, but did not drink. From the corner of my eye, I could see that I was still being watched. It was evident that my observer was enjoying this meal far more than I. I downed the tea in 3 quick gulps, which resulted in a full body shiver and goosebumps on my forearms. "Was it good?" she asked. I opened my mouth to speak, but nothing would come out. So I simply nodded and faked a big smile. The cup and plate were yanked from my hands, and as quickly as she had appeared, she was gone. I leaned back into my pillows and sighed, trying hard to retain the breakfast that could have easily been passed off as someone's poorly graded science experiment. Seconds later, my budding chef returned. She climbed onto the bed next to me and held out a construction paper creation. "It's a book," she informed me. And it was. It was bound by bits of yellow yarn strung through a series of punched holes, and the cover contained a lovely tissue paper flower. I opened it and carefully admired all 10 pages, each of which contained a drawing and captions such as, "Thank you for making cookies on your day off." and you're the bestest mom ever. And also, I'm glad you take care of me. It became clear to me that someone in this house had actually been noticing all my hard work. Gee, I really was appreciated after all. I thought back to previous Mother's Days and to all the presents that had been bestowed upon me, including rolls of Lifesavers, bubble bath, bouquets of dandelions, half a bag of chocolate chips and an old hair ribbon, and a variety of homemade items. I was reminded that the sweetest and most precious gifts in a mother's life are not just those that are handed up to her by small hands, but those that are handed down to her from heaven. And I wish all you mothers and mothering figures a very happy Mother's Day today. Hopefully your day may have started similar, but that it ends wonderful.
A superhero story. Research done by Scott T. Allison from the University of Richmond noted that over 25% of Americans cite their mother as their #1 superhero. Fathers come in second at 16% of people's superheroes. Dr. Allison notes that many heroes are defined by doing the right thing at a critical moment, even when their lives until that point have not been heroic. A parent superhero helps their children progress through the various stages of Maslow's model. They feed you, protect you, love you, help you connect with others, and encourage you to become your best self. Dr. Allison listed 4 important functions of a hero. 1, heroes defend and protect. Think of a ferocious mama bear when her cubs are in danger. Watch out. Humans exhibit this behavior too. Heroes provide intelligence and wisdom. Mothers teach love, integrity, character, and honesty. George Washington said, "All I am, I owe to my mother. I attribute all my success in life to the moral, intellectual, and physical education I received from her." Stevie Wonder called his mother his greatest teacher. 3, heroes provide a moral model. Mothers often demonstrate selfless acts and daily sacrifices. Think of the mother that assures everyone else gets the choice pieces at the dinner table before she serves herself. Think of the mother modeling generosity of her time and attention, the listening and caring ear. 4, heroes enhance and inspire. Those who said their mother was their hero reported that their mothers made them better people, motivated them to develop their fullest potential. Dr. Allison says mothers come out on top of his poll of heroes because of the free offering of love they provide. Good mom and mom figures are there for you when you need emotional support. They hug you. They comfort you when you cry, kiss you on your cheeks when saying goodbye or goodnight. Well, my mother had some amazing superhero powers, and I believe there's moms and mom figures out there that develop these same superpowers when raising children. One of her superpowers was that she had eyes in the back of her head. She could see what I was doing while looking in a different direction or focused on another person. The eyes in the back of her head could see the look on my face and see exactly what I was doing. I don't know if those eyes on the back of her head saw everything I did, but they seemed to work especially well when I was doing something that needed correction. That was all a mystery to me. What an amazing power. And I remember combing through the back of her hair looking for those eyes. The other superpower my mother had was the mother look. Some of you may have experienced this yourself and maybe even have that superpower. One particular mother look would stop me in my tracks. That look could stop me mid-sentence into silence. And that look said all she needed to say to guide my behavior and cause me to rethink what I was doing. I wonder if George Washington's mother had that superpower. On Mother's Day, many gather to honor mom figures, and mothering. Mothers generally are put on a pedestal for a day, some receiving cards, flowers, breakfast in bed, a meal out. Mothers report wanting a morning off, or for someone to actually take a photo of a family activity with mom in the picture. Over the past year, many mothers have struggled. Older moms were isolated from their families. Younger moms juggling with their external work commitments from home while being present for their children at home 24/7. Dreaming up ways to keep them engaged in creative play safely without harming others or themselves. Overseeing challenges of getting food into the house and into their families' mouths. Many worried about their financial stability and ability to provide a home. Overseeing their child's development, emotional well-being, and schooling. Worry and panic about their children falling behind in school. Bouncing between exhaustion, worry, and guilt. For those mothers who may feel they are not enough, you are, superpowers or not. We'll close with the song Good Enough, performed by Leah Morris.
My hands are strong enough, they're strong enough, and I'm good enough. My hands are strong enough to give love. I know that my arms are long enough, they're long enough, and I'm good enough. My arms are long enough to give love. I know that my heart is wide enough, it's wide enough, I'm good enough. My heart is wide enough to give love. I know that my light is bright enough, it's bright enough, I'm good enough. My light is bright enough to give love. And my heart is wide enough to give love. I know that my arms are long enough to give love. My hands are strong enough to give love. Uh-oh. What problem is it? Not a problem at all. We fix. Boom. 1, 2, 3.
We close this service and extinguish our chalice with these words from Charles Howe. May we go forth from this place, thankful for the life that sustains and renews us, and open to the grace that surrounds and surprises us. Blessed be. And thank you for being with us this morning. I want to thank everyone for your generosity. And remember to go to uufames.org to give and contribute funds for this month's offering, recipient, and other good causes we support financially. And thank you to those who helped in putting together the service this morning: Sam Wormley, Jane Runnels, Sarah Carlson, Barb Evenson, and Kent McCusick. And photos to remind us we are celebrating our 75th anniversary as a fellowship. Thank you for being with us this morning. Please stay on and join our virtual coffee hour. We'll begin with small group breakout rooms for sharing and conversation.